Shavua Tov, a gute Woche. I will tell story number 23 of the Shivchei Shem Tov. The title is Anacha be'emtza hatfilah, which means a side in the middle of prayer. The author of the Shivchei Shem Tov, Rav Dober of Linitz, says, I heard from the mouth of the great Maor HaGadol, the great luminary, the Chassid, the pious man, the Rav of our community, Moreino, our teacher, Rav Gedalia of Linitz. We'll make a note about who he was in the blog and Patreon, link in the description. Once, the Baal Shem Tov asked Rav Moshe of the community of Kitov, we've mentioned him in a prior story, for a Sefer HaZohar, obviously a volume of the Zohar. And when he was walking home, carrying the book, this is a Siddur, but we'll make you believe he's carrying the book, his brother-in-law, Rav Gershon, was apparently going in his wagon, stopped, saw him, and asked him, what is it you're carrying there? So Baal Shem Tov didn't want to answer, didn't want to tell him. Rav Gershon stopped the wagon, got off, came to the Baal Shem Tov, grabbed the book, took a look and said, this is a Zohar. He was very surprised and he said, you need a Zohar? Apparently this story happens in that time prior to the revelation of the Baal Shem Tov as a tzaddik. He was at the time he was a tzaddik nista, a hidden tzaddik. So Rav Gershon saw him as this ignoramus, as this simple man. Couldn't think of him as the type of scholar that would be reading the mystical secrets of Torah. Why would he have a Zohar? Well, after that, the Baal Shem Tov went to the Bes Medrash, the yeshiva, to pray. And he was near the door. And during the Amidah, during the Shmona Esrei, he threw a loud, big sigh. Loud enough that Rav Moshe heard him. And after the prayer, Rav Moshe approached him and asked him, what was that sigh in the middle of the prayer? The Baal Shem Tov avoided the answer to his words, so Rav Moshe confronted him and said, I can imagine him saying in Yiddish, Zog mir der emes, tell me the truth. That sigh I heard came straight from your heart. This was deep. So the Baal Shem Tov said, the mezuzah is psula, and because it's psula, it's not a kosher mezuzah, it disturbed me during the tefillah, during the prayer. Rav Moshe immediately pulled it out and opened it, as he had already done in a previous story, and sees the Baal Shem Tov is right. So he went to the bookshelf and pulled out the volume of the Zohar that he had given the Baal Shem Tov before, gave it to him and said, I give you a bracha, that this time you will not meet your brother-in-law Rav Gershon. And that's the story. Moshe too can see things beyond the description of things, no? Beyond what is said. Anyhow, Shavua Tov and a gute Woche. I will make my notes and comments on this story in the blog in Patreon, link in the description. I accept donations and appreciate toward the translation and publication of these stories, which I'm slowly progressing with. Hopefully in a few months I'll publish them in translation in Spanish, which is the first time that the Shivchei Shem Tov stories in their entirety have been translated directly from the Hebrew as a whole book. Shavua Tov, a gute Woche.